Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order at 4:01. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we are calling Sam so that she can attend via phone since she can't be here today. She is out of town. Hello? Hey, Sam.
Okay.
So we have just on the Pledge of Allegiance, we have called the meeting to order on the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we called you. So we are having this meeting to discuss the child care program. As we stated in the meeting last week, I went ahead and got the contract submitted to Primex. Primex went over it and made their changes. The attorney had already made their changes that they would need in order for them to be comfortable with us moving forward with the child care program. I have resubmitted it to the to Champions for their attorney to review, and we're just waiting to hear back. Did you guys have a chance to look over the contract? Does anyone have any concerns or?
So, having seen the contract like that, whatever, and what Primex is indicating, their concerns in the right-hand column, like that, I know you've resubmitted to the contractor, and we haven't heard back until all those notations are satisfied. To me, those are big red flags. And there's a lot of it, when you read into it, they can ultimately cost the school district, as they do, and ultimately the taxpayer, money out of their pocket. And it's basically subsidizing daycare for a few people who need it. If it doesn't meet the requirements, we'll be able to pay. They have guarantees in there. And I don't think that's anything that the taxpayer should have to do, especially when they just voted for a default budget. Okay? I mean, if this is not addressed to what we need for satisfaction, and there be absolutely no cost to the taxpayers in any way, shape, or form, it shouldn't happen. I have to tell you, I mean, it's not, you just can't do that. We can't put them in a financial hardship, and us sitting here saying, well, you signed the contract and we didn't know, that's not going to fly. So I have to say, we got to know every part, every bit of this thing, all the way through, before we sign the contract. So that's just my opinion on it. So.
I'm saying, I agree with Joe, there's a lot of stuff that was in that they definitely have to agree to.
I mean, for me, this is what was recommended from our attorney and our insurance company, so I would agree, unless they come back saying yes, then I wouldn't be moving forward either, unless everything was, I mean, if they have changes that they want maybe, and they said, we'll go with this, but we want this, then that would have to go back to the attorney and Primex before we move forward, so I agree, I wouldn't take it, this is not my thing. So I don't know, I mean, that's why we have attorneys and why we have an insurance company, so I wouldn't be putting anyone in any jeopardy. If they don't agree to this and they come back with something else, then it would have to go back to the attorney and back to Primex before we would do anything.
Yeah. So, really, at this point, I mean, there's not much to discuss until we get back from them, what they're willing to do.
So I think that would be my thing. If you guys are comfortable with, if they agree to this, then we can move forward. If not, then we would let you know that there's some other changes that maybe we have to meet again.
Now we recommend, once they make their changes, what they've agreed to, we need to send it back to Primex for one final pass, to what they think, and if they sign off on it, then we should probably have a deal.
Yeah. So I know that I talked to her. She did send out another survey. It was a quick turnaround, but for interest of the town.
So, just for people who might be watching this, my voice is not always like this. When I surveyed families again, I had 18 people respond to the survey. Though I included the prices that she champions was charging in there, because I think that is a really important piece. When I look at this data, the morning program requires an average of 8 kids a day to run. So when I think about that, that is 40 total days for morning attendance, 5 days a week, 8 kids. And then the afternoon program requires 16 kids a day on average, so a total of 80 kid days, 16 times 5. So when I surveyed everybody, I have this data organized into definites and maybes. It does show there's a need for a morning program. It does not get us with concrete yeses up to that 8 a day. In part because some people said, yeah, we're interested, but didn't tell me how many days they were interested. Then we have some maybes as well. For afternoon, same thing, where we've got a number of people who are definites and some people who are maybes, and then a number who didn't indicate how many days a week that they needed. I think there is a need for child care programming, morning and afternoon care. I don't know if we have enough people to say conclusively that it is going to be a go. So that is your purview as the school board to look at. It is possible. I think the survey was open for 4 days or so. I did have more respondents last time with the timing of the survey and the length that I had it open for. Any questions about it?
Out of curiosity, when they were talking about the fee structure like that, did we let them know that there was a registration fee as well?
I put that in the survey, yes.
Okay. So-
Yeah, but I didn't say how much it was. I just said other fees will apply.
Okay, all right, just out of curiosity, people.
That's
know
fair.
what they ain't doing. So.
Just so that you guys are aware, Ivy and I met with the childcare program. Alexis, that would be I think she's the regional manager. She oversees multiple facilities. She came today. She walked to school with Ivy because Ivy had some concerns, as she had shared, about like space and where to put things in the playground. We looked at different spots in the school that they could be approved to use, just because they'll have to be, when licensing comes in, they can't just be approved for one area. So it's like they'll approve like the gym. Ivy had ideas of like the art room, the library, things like that. Alexis thought the space was fine. I think I'll let Ivy speak to her concerns and see how she felt about it. She said at our playground, if there's any issues with our playground, she's like, that's fine. We would just ask for approval to just use kind of like the green space that's just outside of the school. Not to worry about it. We also talked about like potentially doing some community events to like get the playground remulched and things like that. So we could figure that out. And she was, Alexis said, she's like, we'd love to be a part of that, to be a part of the community and be here to actually volunteer and help do that as well. So I don't know how, I'll let Ivy speak to how she feels, but.
I think that they would be perfectly lovely to work with. The concerns that I have are around the day-to-day. So for example, this is obviously our preferred space, but if they need a breakout space, ensuring that there is a separation of the program and the school. If we did have kids moving into the art room, not using the art supplies, like that sort of boundary. So that would be something that I would be working with the individual manager for the program each day. I also talked with her about having a rotation because many of our specialists are part-time. So if I can have them, if they need to have a breakout space in the art room, not have it on days when the art teacher is coming in, obviously that would be ideal because then we're not interfering with classroom time. We also talked about places to store things and the cabinets that they would have and the rolling carts. And I don't anticipate that as being as much of an issue as I thought it would be initially, especially where the cabinets are much like this one here where we can tuck it in a corner and just have it be. So that part felt a little bit better.
Does anyone have any questions about anything with the program, like day-to-day running or anything like that, or do you feel like you pretty much got have anything on the phone?
I do not. I could hear what I was saying, but I agree with
Okay. So I think if you guys are okay with it, I would make a motion that as long as there's no changes, that the contract they come back making, before I, of course, sign it, we'll make sure that legal looks at it, make sure that there's nothing that changed.
Yeah.
But if you guys are okay with that, I would ask for a motion to move forward with signing the contract once it's been resubmitted.
So we should have one more meeting. Let's kick this can down the road, but one more meeting after Primex looks at their, when they send the contract back to Primex, whatever, like you said, for illegal and stuff like that. And if everything's satisfied, at that point, look at signing a contract.
So you want to meet again?
We're gonna have to, I mean, I'm not gonna just, you know, we're gonna have to look and see all this going on. I mean, I hate to say that, but until we have all that answered, like that, whatever, nothing being omitted and how we want it to go, I mean, we really need to make sure that it's taken care of the right way. I mean, I don't know how to do it unless we do it like email like that, everybody says, yeah, go ahead and do it, that type of thing.
We can't do it that way. We'd have
I
to
know.
make a motion to say that we're gonna move forward with the contract as long as they come back accepting it.
They mean Primex?
No, the company, the Primex has already done this, so Primex has already seen it. Our attorney's already seen it, so we.
So I know the contract here, and all this stuff you read right here is Primex's responses to them, to their contract.
Yep.
Having said that, it's in their ballpark to reach out to us to see if they can make those changes that Primex recommends, correct?
Right, so it would
Okay.
basically be, we would sign this contract with all the Primex stuff inside. It wouldn't be a new contract, it would literally be, they would hand us back this and say, yeah, we agree to all this, and we'd sign it.
But if they don't agree.
If they don't agree with it, then we would have to meet again, yes.
And my changes need to be reflected in there too, with the times and the taking out of the summer program and all of that. So I don't know if the right people know that those times were wrong and stuff, so just because of that.
I can let them know that we have concerns about the times.
So my biggest concern is signing a contract. I mean, so they send it back and say, yes, they're gonna change, but all these changes. I think the Primex should just go ahead again and do one more official read of what they agreed to make sure that nothing else is missing or omitted, or they've changed some of the verbiage themselves.
That's what I'm saying, we wouldn't sign it unless they haven't made any changes.
I'm only one vote, so.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Like, if they come back and they've changed something, then it would have to go all through again.
But Joe, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding. So we sent that to them, if they come back and they're like, they agree to everything that Primex has put on there, you want Primex to go back and read through it one more time?
Yes, just to verify everything is accurate the way we need it. I mean, I'm trying
That's
to.
fine, I think that we can do that, I just don't know if we can do that, that would be my thing, my motion would be, if this comes back and they haven't changed anything, we can have the attorney and Primex look at it again, as long as they're fine with it, then we can sign it.
I'd be happy with that, yes.
So again, the motion I'm making is that we've submitted the contract that Primex and our attorney have already reviewed. As long as they don't make changes, or even if they make changes, I'll resubmit it to Primex and the attorney, have them look at it one more time, and then as long as they don't have any other changes to our attorney, Primex has no other changes to make, then we would sign it. Otherwise, if there's other changes, we should come back and talk about it, I think.
I agree to that, yes.
You need a second to that?
Let me say it so that, we say it again. So I'm making a motion that the contract, and all of the amendments that have been made by Primex and our attorney have been submitted to, Champions. As long as Champions comes back in agreement and hasn't made any other changes, we'll go ahead and submit it just for final look over to the attorneys and to Primex. As long as they're comfortable, we can go ahead and sign it and move forward.
I'll second that.
All in favor by roll call. Sierra.
Aye.
Joe. Kelly. Rebecca, aye. Sam, I don't think you can vote because you're on the phone. Any other questions or concerns?
Yes, I have one. Sorry.
You're fine.
Do you guys need to take a look at your policy around facility use and waive the fees? Make a decision about that?
So we have the facility use where it's, they're a for-profit agency that we would typically charge. My, proposal for 4 was that we waive that, especially for the first year. And then kind of turn back around and see how much of the facilities we could recover with keeping families' rates affordable. Because they're facilities, it's like $35 an hour.
I'm gonna print it for everybody right now, just give me a moment.
Well, they're only here.
It depends on what time they come in. I think the proposal was if we did morning, it would be 7 to 8:30, so an hour and a half in the morning. And 3:30 to 5.
3:20 to 5:30.
What's the normal charge that we charge at the school that we do, people utilize it outside of?
She's gonna print it right now. We only charge for profit. I think it was $35 an hour.
How much?
$35 an hour.
So that'd be like 70.
Yeah, she's gonna.
$350 a week on average. So 350 times 52 weeks.
Oh, it'll be 52 weeks, around here somewhere.
It's a big 40-week school year typically, it's already.
So that first year could be probably right around. Quick math.
I would be
It's
interested.
$15,000 a week with that.
I mean, it would be interesting to see. I mean, like, what, like, so if we were to charge them the facility, how much that would affect their rates, because then if, like, could we essentially use, I don't know if it would be possible, like, use the rate, like, what we're charging to kind of offset for, the custodian. You know what I mean? Because then that would allow, you know, earlier start time for the custodian to make sure things are taken care of and stuff like that, or a later time for.
I mean, you can, it's gonna end up increasing the rate, so I think we would have to go back to them and see how much it's gonna increase the rate, because I think that's the concern, is
Yeah.
that.
Well, I think it would be good to know what the rate would increase to. I mean, I'm not saying we have to do that, but, because even if we, so we waive it this year, if we go to start doing it next year, we're just gonna increase anyways.
Yeah. Well, I think that we might wanna negotiate something, a different fee schedule for them, if they're coming into Nate so that it is more cost effective, especially if they're gonna be here. I mean, the $35 is for someone, it's not, I mean, I don't think it's designed for someone who's here 5 days a week, per se. So I think we probably need to kind of renegotiate, a special fee plan for them, would be my proposal, so that we can keep it cost effective for them, but that's up to you guys.
But you want to do the first year waiver for free?
Well, I think that I think we use it to our advantage, we can say this is our fee schedule, this is what we charge, so we're gonna ask for some leniency in the tuition numbers, because we're omitting this from you. So in case we don't hit those 8 and 15, when we hit our 90 days,
Right.
and you're talking about, you know, could something have to change, then I think we say, well, we're gonna negotiate with you we're not gonna charge you a fee for the first year. We'll readdress the fee after the first year and see, and like negotiate a facility fee. But for the first year, we're asking, for forgiveness for not, if we don't have our numbers, while we get started for the first year. Would be my
Because they're
suggestion.
going to know the first year, they may not be the second year.
Correct.
Yeah.
If their business coming in and they're for profit like that, what an extra cost to the business. So, as you come up with a fee structure for them and like that, whatever, and make them like that, and you have to renegotiate for next year, if it happens to come from the second year, that might be a different story. But we need to have some bargaining chips on our side too, as well, as far as, I mean, we gotta be careful because everything that costs for the school to operate, the electricity, the heat, all of it, is going to be a cost too.
There's no additional cost. The school already has everything running during the hours that they're here. So there's no additional cost for electricity and heat and all that. Because the janitors are here, the lights are out. So there isn't any additional utility cost for heat and lights and all that. I mean, when we had the childcare program before, we were charged, they were not charged the 35, like, we didn't charge them that, like, $35 an hour. Like I said, I think I would use it as I can go back to them and say that, you know, the contract is this, we're looking at our fee schedule, and that, you know, it's typically $35 an hour. That if we can have some leniency on the numbers in case our numbers aren't where they are, for the first year, then we could discuss waiving that fee for them and then renegotiating the fee for them for next year.
And also draw your attention to the fee schedule to E for other requirements, and ask you to go to custodian in the building during that time, but I think that's what you were just talking about.
And we're not making any changes to our custodian hours, they're fitting into our custodian hours, so.
That is correct.
That is, like, they're being very accommodating to fit into our custodian hours, so that we're not asking the custodian to come in here. Most of this was for like weekends and things like that, so asking them to be here outside of hours, we're not asking them. They're fitting into what our custodians are scheduled for. They also clean up themselves. That was one of the things that Ivy and I were told today, was that they are expected to clean their space, and if Ivy ever has any issues with them not cleaning their space, she's to call Alexis so she can deal with it. But they're expected, they have to sweep the floors, they have to pick the tables, that is so they're doing all of that.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So that would be my thing, if you guys are comfortable with it, I would make a motion that for the first, we present this to them, and we say, this is what we typically do. We're prepared to waive this for you if we can have some leniency on the tuition in case after the 90 days, we're not where we are supposed to be, so that we don't have a risk of being charged.
All right, that makes sense.
What do we think the odds are that they're gonna sign that contract with all of the changes?
Can you guys use the microphone? I can't hear words. Please.
Sorry. What do we think the odds are that they're gonna sign that contract with all of the changes that were made? Because there were some significant changes there.
I mean, I think that the changes that were made are not anything outside of the normal what would be expected. So, I mean, either they sign it or they don't. That would be my thing, like, we've said this is what our attorneys and stuff have said to take risk off of us, this is what needs to happen. So they either sign it, or they have some other, you know, suggestions that our attorneys and Primex are in agreement, or we don't move forward. Like, I mean, I'm with you guys, I'm not putting anyone at risk. So if this is, I mean, I don't know legally, so if our attorneys and Primex, our insurance company, is that this is what needs to happen for this to be okay, this is what happens, or it doesn't happen. And if they come back with something else, then that gets resubmitted. If Primex and the attorney think that that's okay, then that's fine. But if not, then I'm not pushing anything forward with anyone at risk.
Well, on the fee structure, like that, we're talking not a huge amount of money. So I'll second the motion.
Anything else that works in your Was that what the whole
We
state?
were talking about.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion, that the fee schedule that we typically use, be proposed to the healthcare company, wage for the first year, this is on our, risk of enrollment, and, we will renegotiate the fee for the use of the building with them next year, if we continue. Joe, second. Okay. All in favor, vote Garcia. No? Do you have one? I will say yes. So I will let you guys know, when they, because I'm guessing they'll just send it back to me. I will send it out to everyone, and we will, just make it, when I resubmit it to Primex and the attorney, and then we can go from there.
So make sure on the email list, or the response, contact.
And I think for him. With the wind and everything. Do you want to come closer? So I will open for public input. If